The December wind cut through Chicago like a blade. Natalie Harper stood outside prestige events, watching her coworkers celebrate through the glass. Champagne bubbles. Forced laughter. She couldn't make herself go back inside. Her phone buzzed. Owen Fletcher. Still pretending to have fun? She smiled despite the cold biting her cheeks. How did you know? Because I can see you from across the street. Her head snapped up. There he was in the coffee shop window, ridiculous Santa hat and all, waving like an idiot. She crossed through honking traffic, her breath forming clouds. Inside Brewster's cafe, warmth wrapped around her. Owen had already ordered her peppermint mocha. He pulled out her chair with exaggerated formality. Your throne, my lady. You're absurd. But she sat, wrapping frozen fingers around the cup. Why aren't you in there collecting your accolades? The Kellerman wedding was legendary. Natalie stared at melting whipped cream. Everyone's talking about their holiday plans. Aspen. Florida. Big family gatherings. I'm microwaving leftovers and binge-watching cooking shows. That sounds terrible. It's fine. I'm used to holidays alone since my parents moved to Arizona. Owen leaned forward, green eyes intense. What if it didn't have to be? What do you mean? My family's cabin. Lake Geneva. It's empty this year. I was going alone, but it could be more fun with company. Her heart skipped. You want me to come with you? Why not? Beautiful fireplace. Amazing kitchen. 1,000 board games. It's supposed to snow all week. She bit her lip. 10 years of friendship, and this felt different somehow. Intimate in a way that made her nervous. I don't want to intrude. He reached across the table, squeezed her hand. Natalie. You're not intruding. My mom still asks about you every time we talk. The warmth of his touch sent unexpected heat through her. She pulled away, sipping her mocha. When would we leave? His face lit up. Tomorrow morning. We'll stop at that diner with the world's best pie. Get to the cabin by evening. You're serious. Completely. When was the last time you did something spontaneous? She couldn't remember. Her life was scheduled meetings and planned takeout nights. Okay. Yes. Let's do it. Owen's smile was brilliant. Really? Really? But I'm warning you, I will dominate at board games. He raised his cup. To the best Christmas neither of us planned. She clinked against his, and the tightness in her chest finally eased. The next morning, Owen's black SUV waited at her curb. Classic rock played. 2 travel mugs steamed in the cup holders. A paper bag smelled like cinnamon rolls. Maggie's Bakery? She asked, climbing in. Road trips require proper fuel. Plus, you never eat breakfast when you're nervous. I'm not nervous. Sure you're not. But his tone was gentle, teasing, and she relaxed. The city gave way to highway, then hills covered in pine forests. Snow began to fall. By the time they turned onto the private road, fat flakes filled the air. The cabin appeared through the trees like a dream. Warm wood. Stone chimney. Wide windows glowing gold. You turned the heat on? Called the property manager yesterday. He always thought of everything. Inside was better than any photo. Exposed beams. Crackling fireplace. Kitchen with copper pots. Stairs leading to a loft bedroom. 2 bedrooms, Owen said. Master's in the loft. Smaller one downstairs. Your choice. Downstairs, she said quickly. They unloaded groceries. Wine. Cheese. Ingredients for his famous chili. Christmas dinner fixings. As night fell, snow pounded the windows. They strung lights around the living room, hung ornaments on the small tree. "This one's my favorite." Owen held up a battered felt reindeer missing an antler. "Made it in second grade." "It's terrible," Natalie laughed. "It's perfect." They cooked together, moving in easy rhythm. Chopped vegetables. Stirred chili. Poured generous wine. Christmas music played softly. After dinner, they settled on the couch with blankets and cards. The fire crackled. Snow fell harder outside. Owen drew a card, discarded it. "Can I tell you something?" "Of course." He set down his cards. Looked at her with an expression she'd never seen before. Vulnerable. Raw. "I didn't invite you here just to save you from a lonely Christmas." Her pulse quickened. "What do you mean?" "Natalie." His voice dropped. "I've been in love with you for 3 years." The world tilted. Wine sloshed in her glass. "What?" "Since the night you called me crying after your breakup with Marcus. You were wearing that ridiculous penguin pajamas. And I realized I wanted to be the person who made you laugh like that every day. I wanted to be the one you called first. Always." She couldn't breathe. "Owen. I know this might ruin everything. But I couldn't spend another Christmas pretending I only wanted to be your friend." The fire popped. Snow hit the windows. And then her phone rang. Marcus's name flashed on the screen. Owen's face went carefully blank. "You should probably get that." Natalie stared at Marcus's name on her screen. The phone kept ringing. Owen stood, walked to the window, his back rigid. She declined the call. "Owen. It's fine." His voice was tight. "Answer it if you need to." "I don't need to." She set the phone face down on the table. "Marcus and I ended 8 months ago. Whatever he wants doesn't matter." Owen turned slowly. Hope flickered in his eyes. "Then what does matter?" Her heart hammered. "I need to understand." 3 years? You felt this way for 3 years and never said anything? Would you have wanted to hear it? He moved closer, firelight dancing across his face. "You were with Marcus. Then you were healing from Marcus. Then you were focused on building your career. There was never a right time. So you just suffered in silence?" "I didn't suffer." He sat beside her, close enough that she could smell his cologne. Pine and something darker. "Being your friend was enough." "Mostly." "Mostly?" "It killed me every time you dated someone else. Every time some guy didn't see what he had. Every time you called me crying because they didn't deserve you." Natalie's hands shook. "Why tell me now?" "Because I'm tired of pretending. Because life's too short to spend it wanting something you're too afraid to reach for." He took her hand. "Because maybe, just maybe, you feel something too." Did she? The question burned through her. 10 years of friendship. Late-night phone calls. Inside jokes. The way her heart lifted when his name appeared on her screen. The way she noticed when he got a haircut. The jealousy that twisted through her when he dated that lawyer last year. "I don't know what I feel," she whispered. "That's okay." His thumb traced circles on her palm. "I'm not asking you to know right now." "Then what are you asking?" "Give this a chance. Give us a chance. Just for these few days. See if maybe there's something more here." The fire crackled. Snow continued its assault on the windows. Everything felt suspended, fragile. "And if there isn't?" Her voice broke. "If I can't feel what you feel? We lose 10 years of friendship." "We won't." But uncertainty shadowed his eyes. "We're stronger than that." "Are we?" He cupped her face, and her breath caught. Natalie. I would rather have you in my life as a friend than not have you at all. But I had to tell you the truth. I couldn't spend another year hiding this. She leaned into his touch without meaning to. His skin was warm. Solid. Real. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too. What if I hurt you? What if you don't? And then he kissed her. Soft at first. Questioning. His lips gentle against hers. She froze for a heartbeat, then melted into him. Her hands found his hair. His arms wrapped around her waist, pulling her closer. The kiss deepened, years of unspoken feelings pouring between them. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Natalie pressed her forehead to his. That was, she started. Yeah. Owen, I need time. This is so much, so fast. I know. He kissed her forehead. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. They sat holding each other as the fire burned low. Eventually, exhaustion pulled them apart. Owen stood, offered his hand. Come on. It's late. She let him lead her to the downstairs bedroom. He kissed her goodnight at the door, sweet and tender. Sleep well. But sleep didn't come easily. Natalie lay in the unfamiliar bed, mind racing. Her phone buzzed again. Another text from Marcus. We need to talk. It's important. She almost deleted it. But curiosity won. She opened the message thread. I made a mistake. I want you back. I'm coming to get you. Ice flooded her veins. She typed quickly. How do you know where I am? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. I called your office. Your assistant mentioned the cabin trip. I'm already on my way. Be there tomorrow. Panic seized her. She threw off the covers, grabbed her robe, and ran upstairs to the loft. Owen. She shook his shoulder. Owen, wake up. He sat up, instantly alert. What's wrong? Marcus is coming here. Tomorrow. He knows where we are. Owen's expression darkened. How? My assistant told him. Natalie. He pulled her down to sit on the bed. It's okay. We'll deal with it. No, you don't understand. Her voice rose. He's unstable. After the breakup, he showed up at my apartment 3 times. He sent flowers to my office every day for a month. He's obsessed. Owen's jaw clenched. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because I handled it. I got a restraining order. I thought it was over. A restraining order? His voice went deadly quiet. Natalie. I didn't want you to worry. I didn't want to make it a big thing. He stood, paced the loft. This is a big thing. This is a very big thing. I'm sorry. I should have told you. He stopped, looked at her. We need to call the police. And tell them what? That my ex is driving here? He hasn't done anything illegal yet. Yet. Owen ran his hands through his hair. This is exactly why I never told you how I felt. Because men like Marcus don't deserve you, but somehow they always find you. The word stung. That's not fair. Isn't it? He turned away. You're brilliant and beautiful and kind. And you keep choosing men who treat you like you're disposable. I didn't choose this. No. But you didn't tell me about it either. His voice softened. I could have helped. I didn't need help. I needed, she trailed off. What? What did you need? Before she could answer, headlights swept across the windows. A car door slammed. They both froze. That's not possible, Owen whispered. He couldn't be here already. Footsteps crunched on snow outside. Then pounding on the door. Natalie. Marcus's voice, slurred and angry. I know you're in there. Open this door. Owen moved fast, blocking her. Stay behind me. Owen, don't. But he was already heading down the stairs. Natalie grabbed her phone, ready to call 911. More pounding. Natalie. Open the door. We need to talk. Owen yanked open the door. Marcus stood there, swaying. Drunk. His eyes wild. Where is she? Marcus pushed past Owen. You need to leave. Owen's voice was ice. Now. Marcus laughed, bitter and sharp. Or what? You'll make me? I know what's happening here. I know what you're trying to do. Natalie appeared at the top of the stairs. Marcus, you need to go. The police are on their way. It was a lie, but he didn't know that. Marcus looked up at her, and something crumpled in his face. Baby, please. I made a mistake. I love you. I've always loved you. You don't love me. You love controlling me. That's not true. He started up the stairs. Owen grabbed his arm. Don't. Marcus swung. His fist connected with Owen's jaw. Owen stumbled back, blood blooming from his lip. Owen. Natalie screamed. But Owen recovered fast. He drove his shoulder into Marcus's stomach, sending them both crashing to the floor. And that's when Natalie saw it. In Marcus's coat pocket. The gleam of metal. A gun. He has a gun. Natalie's scream cut through the chaos. Owen froze. Marcus scrambled to his feet, backing away, hand moving to his pocket. Don't. Owen raised his hand slowly. Just don't. Marcus pulled out the weapon. Not a gun. A flask. Silver metal catching the firelight. What? He looked confused, drunk. It's just whiskey. What did you think? Relief and rage flooded Natalie in equal measure. She ran down the stairs, positioned herself between them. Get out, Marcus. Right now. Before I do call the police for real. Something shifted in his expression. Clarity breaking through the alcohol. You're with him. Not a question. An accusation. That's why you left me. You were already with him. No, Natalie said firmly. I left you because you were controlling and jealous and made me feel small. This has nothing to do with Owen. Liar. Marcus's voice broke. I knew it. The way he looked at you at that fundraiser. The way you talked about him. I knew. You need to leave, Owen said quietly. Blood still trickled from his split lip. Now. While you still can. Marcus wavered. For a moment, Natalie thought he might actually go. Then his eyes hardened. Fine. But you should know something, Natalie. He smiled, cruel and sharp. That job offer you got last month? The one in New York you turned down? Her stomach dropped. How do you know about that? Because I'm the one who arranged it. Called in favors with the CEO. Made sure they wanted you specifically. He stepped closer. I was going to surprise you. We'd move to New York together. Fresh start. But then you broke up with me before I could tell you. The room spun. You manipulated my career. I created an opportunity for us. You had no right. And you know what the best part is? Marcus's smile widened. When you turned them down, I called back. Told them you were unreliable. Made sure they'd never work with you again. That CEO? He's told everyone in the industry you're toxic. You didn't. But she knew he had. The sudden cold shoulders at last month's conference. The contracts that never materialized. The way vendors stopped returning her calls. I did. No remorse. If I couldn't have you, no one else would benefit from your talent either. Owen moved so fast Natalie barely saw it. He grabbed Marcus by the collar, slammed him against the wall. You destroyed her career because she wouldn't stay with you? Owen, don't. Natalie pulled at his arm. He's not worth it. Owen released Marcus roughly. Get out. Before I forget, I'm not the kind of man who hits someone who's already down. Marcus straightened his coat, dignity gathering around him like armor. You're making a mistake, Natalie. He's just like me. Another man who wants to control you. The only difference is you can't see it yet. Leave. He did, finally. The door slammed. They heard his car start, tires spinning on snow before finding purchase. Silence settled over the cabin like a shroud. Natalie, Owen started. Don't. She backed away from him. I need a minute. She walked to the kitchen, gripped the counter, tried to breathe. Her career. Everything she'd built. Marcus had destroyed it out of spite. Owen followed, kept his distance. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. We'll fix this. I know people. We can rebuild your reputation. Can we? She turned to face him. Or will everyone just think I'm the dramatic woman who can't keep her personal life separate from business? That's not fair. None of this is fair. Her voice rose. I worked so hard. 10 years building my reputation. And he destroyed it with a few phone calls because his ego couldn't handle rejection. Owen reached for her. She let him pull her close, let herself break down against his chest. He held her while she cried, whispering promises he might not be able to keep. Eventually, exhaustion won. They cleaned Owen's split lip. Locked every door and window. Natalie couldn't face the downstairs bedroom alone, so Owen made up the couch for her near the dying fire. I'll be upstairs if you need me, he said softly. Stay. The word came out before she could stop it. Please. Just for tonight. He hesitated. Are you sure? I don't want to be alone. So he stayed, lying beside her on the too small couch, arms wrapped protectively around her. She pressed against his warmth, feeling safe for the first time in hours. Owen? Yeah. Thank you. For everything. He kissed the top of her head. Always. She drifted toward sleep, his heartbeat steady beneath her ear. And just as darkness took her, she heard him whisper something that sounded like, I love you. Morning came with weak winter sunlight filtering through the windows. Natalie woke alone, blankets tucked carefully around her. She could hear Owen in the kitchen, the smell of coffee and bacon filling the cabin. She found him at the stove, hair mussed, still wearing yesterday's clothes. His lip was swollen but not as bad as she'd feared. Hey. He smiled when he saw her. I made breakfast. You didn't have to. I wanted to. He plated eggs and bacon, poured coffee. They sat at the small kitchen table, eating in comfortable silence. I've been thinking, Owen said finally. About what Marcus did. I might know someone who can help. Owen. Just hear me out. My company has a partner who specializes in reputation management. Corporate stuff mostly, but she's handled personal crises too. I could make a call. Hope flickered, dangerous and bright. You'd do that? Of course. I'd do anything for you. The words warmed her. Maybe this could work. Maybe they could fix the damage. Okay. Yes. Thank you. He pulled out his phone, stepped outside onto the porch to make the call. Through the window, Natalie watched him pace, gesturing as he talked. He looked determined. Strong. Like someone she could lean on. Her own phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You should ask Owen about Sarah. Natalie stared at the screen. Who is this? Someone who knows the truth. Ask him about Sarah Mitchell. Ask him what happened 2 years ago. Her hands went cold. She didn't recognize the name. But something in her gut twisted. Owen came back inside, smiling. Good news. Meredith can meet with us after the holidays. She thinks she can help. That's great. But her voice sounded hollow. Owen, who's Sarah Mitchell? The smile died on his face. Color drained from his cheeks. Where did you hear that name? Someone just texted me. Told me to ask you about her. About what happened 2 years ago. Owen sat down heavily. Put his head in his hands. Owen. What is this? When he looked up, guilt shadowed his eyes. There's something I need to tell you. The cabin suddenly felt too small. Too quiet. Natalie gripped her phone, waiting. Sarah Mitchell was my girlfriend, Owen said finally. 2 years ago. We dated for 6 months. You never mentioned her. Because it ended badly. He stood, paced to the window. Really badly. Owen. What did you do? I fell in love with someone else. He turned to face her. I fell in love with you. The world tilted. 2 years ago. But you said 3 years. I started falling for you 3 years ago. But 2 years ago, I was with Sarah and I realized I'd rather be alone than be with someone who wasn't you. So I broke up with her. That's not, Natalie struggled for words. That's just a breakup. Why would someone text me about it? Owen's jaw clenched. Because of what happened after. Sarah didn't take it well. She showed up at my apartment. At my office. She sent emails to my boss claiming I'd stolen company secrets and given them to competitors. Recognition dawned, cold and sick. She tried to destroy your career. Yes. And I fought back. His voice dropped. I had evidence she'd been embezzling from her own company. Small amounts over time. I'd found out accidentally but never said anything because I thought she'd stop. When she came after me, I used it. You blackmailed her. I protected myself. I told her if she didn't back off, I'd turn her in. She disappeared after that. Last I heard, she moved to Boston. Natalie felt nauseous. So when Marcus destroyed my reputation, you already knew what that felt like. You'd done the same thing to someone else. It's not the same. Isn't it? You used information to control someone's life. She was trying to ruin me. His voice rose. I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice. Natalie stood, needing distance. You could have gone to the police. Let the system handle it. The system doesn't always work. You know that. So you became judge and jury? Owen ran his hands through his hair, frustrated. What would you have done? Let her destroy everything you'd built? I don't know. But I wouldn't have stooped to her level. That's easy to say when you're not the one losing everything. The words hit like a slap. Natalie stared at him, this man she thought she knew. Get out. What? Get out. I need to think. Natalie, please. Now, Owen. He left, grabbing his coat, slamming the door. Through the window, she watched him walk into the snowy forest, shoulders hunched against the cold. Her phone buzzed again. The same unknown number. Now you know the truth. He's not who you think he is. Who are you? Sarah. I saw your social media posts about the cabin trip. Thought you deserved to know what kind of man you're falling for. Natalie's hands shook as she typed. He said you embezzled money. I made mistakes. I was young and stupid and desperate. But what he did was worse. He used my worst moment to control me. To silence me. That's not love, Natalie. That's manipulation. The words burrowed deep. Was Owen really different from Marcus? Both men who used information as weapons. Both men who justified their actions by claiming protection. But there was a difference, wasn't there? Marcus had destroyed her career out of spite. Owen had protected himself from someone actively trying to hurt him. Or was she just making excuses because she was falling for him? An hour passed. Then two. The fire died to embers. Snow continued falling outside, heavy and relentless. The weather report on her phone showed a blizzard warning. Roads closing. Power outages expected. They were trapped here together. Finally, Natalie couldn't stand it anymore. She pulled on her coat and boots, went looking for Owen. She found him sitting on a fallen log near the frozen lake, covered in snow, staring at nothing. You'll freeze to death out here, she said. Maybe that would be easier. Don't say that. He looked up at her, eyes red. I'm not a good person, Natalie. I've done things I'm not proud of. But everything I've ever done has been to protect the people I care about. Including blackmail? Including that, yes. No apology in his voice. Sarah would have destroyed my career. My reputation. Everything I'd worked for. I did what I had to do. And you don't regret it? I regret that it had to happen. I regret that she put me in that position. But no, I don't regret protecting myself. Natalie sat beside him on the log. Cold seeped through her jeans immediately. Sarah texted me. She's the one who told me to ask about her. Owen's expression darkened. Of course she did. She says you're manipulative. That you used her worst moment against her. And what do you think? That was the question, wasn't it? Natalie looked at this man who'd been her best friend for 10 years. Who'd driven her to a cabin to save her from a lonely Christmas. Who'd confessed his love. Who'd protected her from Marcus. I think we're all capable of terrible things when we're backed into a corner, she said slowly. I think you made a choice that kept you safe but hurt someone else. I think that's human. But I need to know you wouldn't do that to me. That if we tried this, if we became something more, you wouldn't use my secrets as weapons if things went wrong. Owen took her frozen hands in his. I would never hurt you. Not intentionally. Not ever. You can't promise that. People hurt each other all the time. Then I promise this. His voice was fierce. If we fall apart, if this doesn't work, I will walk away cleanly. No games. No revenge. I will let you go. How do I know you mean that? Because I love you more than I love winning. More than I love being right. I would rather lose you and know you're happy than keep you and watch you suffer. Snow fell around them, muffling the world to just the two of them on this log by this frozen lake. Sarah embezzled because her mother was sick, Natalie said quietly. She told me. She needed money for treatment. Owen's face crumpled. I didn't know that. Would it have changed anything if you had? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. He stood, walked to the lake's edge. God, I'm a terrible person. You're human. Natalie joined him. Flawed and scared and trying your best. Like the rest of us. How can you not hate me? Because I've done terrible things too. Maybe not blackmail, but I've hurt people. I've been selfish and cruel when I was scared. She took his hand. We're all morally gray, Owen. The question is whether we're willing to do better. He pulled her close, buried his face in her hair. I don't deserve you. Maybe not. But I don't deserve you either. So maybe we're even. They stood like that as the snow intensified, clinging to each other for warmth. Finally, they headed back to the cabin. Inside, the power flickered. Went out. Blizzard must have taken out the lines, Owen said. He found flashlights, started the generator. The cabin filled with dim emergency lighting. They spent the rest of the day in strange intimacy. Made lunch together. Played board games by generator light. Talked about everything and nothing. The betrayal hung between them, but so did understanding. As evening fell, they curled up on the couch under every blanket in the cabin. The generator hummed. Outside, the blizzard raged. What do we do now? Natalie asked. I don't know. What do you want to do? She thought about it. About Owen's confession. His past. The way he'd protected himself at someone else's expense. The way he'd promised to let her go if she needed him to. I want to try, she said. I want to see if this could work. Owen pulled back to look at her. Really? Really? But with conditions. Anything. No secrets. If you do something you're ashamed of, you tell me. If I hurt you, you tell me. We face things together. Deal. He kissed her forehead. What else? If we fall apart, we stay friends. We don't burn it all down. I already promised that. Then promise it again. I promise. He cupped her face. Can I kiss you now? She nodded. This kiss was different from the first. Deeper. More desperate. Weighted with everything they'd learned about each other. The good and the bad and the complicated in between. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, the cabin lights flickered back on. Power restored. Owen laughed. Perfect timing. But Natalie's phone buzzed. Another text. Her blood turned to ice as she read it. The text was from her assistant. Natalie, I'm so sorry. I didn't know Marcus would use the cabin information like that. But there's something else. A company called Meridian Events wants to hire you. They've been trying to reach you all day. It's a huge contract. 6 figures. They want you to be their creative director. Natalie stared at the screen, reading it 3 times. What is it? Owen asked. She showed him the message. His face lit up. That's incredible. Meridian is one of the biggest event companies in the country. It's based in San Francisco. The joy dimmed in his eyes. Oh. Across the country from you. They sat in heavy silence. Outside, the blizzard was finally calming. Inside, a different storm was brewing. You should take it, Owen said quietly. It's an amazing opportunity. Owen. I'm serious. This could rebuild your entire career. After what Marcus did, you need this. I also need you. He took her hands. Natalie, I told you I wouldn't hold you back. I meant it. So what? We just tried this for a day and now we're done. We tried it long enough to know it's real. That's more than some people get in a lifetime. His voice cracked. But I won't be the reason you don't reach your potential. Tears burned her eyes. This isn't fair. No. It's not. But life rarely is. We could do long distance. Could we? Honestly? He stood, paced the cabin. I've seen what that does to people. The missed calls. The different time zones. The slow erosion of intimacy. I won't watch us wither like that. So you're just giving up? I'm letting you choose freely. He turned to face her. Without guilt. Without me being a factor. What do you want, Natalie? What does your gut tell you? She closed her eyes. Imagine San Francisco. A corner office. Her name on the door. Respect and recognition. Everything she'd worked for. Then she imagined Owen. Coffee shop conversations. Board game nights. The way he made her laugh. The way he saw her, really saw her, in a way no one else ever had. I don't know, she whispered. Then you need to figure it out. And I need to give you space to do that. He grabbed his coat and keys. Where are you going? For a drive. Clear my head. I'll be back in a few hours. The roads are still dangerous. I'll be careful. He left before she could argue. She watched his taillights disappear into the snowy darkness. Natalie sat alone in the cabin, phone in hand. She could call Meridian. Accept the position. Start fresh in a new city. Build the career she'd always dreamed of. Or she could stay in Chicago. Fight to rebuild her reputation there. Take whatever work she could find. And have Owen. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Against her better judgment, she answered. Hello? Natalie Harper? A woman's voice. Professional. This is Rebecca Chen from Meridian Events. I wanted to reach you directly about our offer. How did you get this number? Your assistant provided it. I hope that's all right. We're very eager to bring you on board. Your work is exceptional. Thank you. I know this is sudden, but we need an answer quickly. We have other candidates, but you're our first choice. We'd like you to start after New Year's. Would that be possible? Natalie looked around the cabin. At the blankets still tangled on the couch. At the Christmas tree they'd decorated together. At the life she could have. Can I ask you something? Natalie said. How did you hear about me? My reputation has been, let's say, complicated lately. Rebecca laughed. Actually, we heard about you from someone named Meredith Walsh. She reached out this morning, said you were the best event planner she'd ever worked with. Gave us some references, showed us your portfolio. Your work speaks for itself. Owen. He'd called in the favor. Not for himself. For her. Even knowing it might cost him everything. Ms. Chen, can I call you back tomorrow? Of course. But please, don't wait too long. This offer won't stay open indefinitely. After they hung up, Natalie sat in the silence. Owen had given her this opportunity. Had opened the door for her to leave. Because he loved her enough to let her go. That's when she knew. Hours later, headlights swept across the windows. Owen came back, face drawn, eyes tired. He found her sitting by the fire. Hi, he said quietly. Hi. Did they call? Yes. And? Natalie stood, walked to him. I turned them down. His eyes widened. What? Why? Because I realized something. I've spent 10 years building a career to prove I was worthy. To show I was successful. To validate my existence. She took his hands. But I've had everything I needed right in front of me the whole time. Natalie, you can't give up your dreams for me. I'm not giving up my dreams. I'm choosing different ones. She smiled through tears. I called Meridian back. Asked if they'd consider opening a Chicago branch. With me as director. What did they say? They said yes. They've been wanting to expand. I'd still get the position, the salary, the respect. But I'd stay here. With you. Owen pulled her close. You don't have to do this. I want to. I spent so long running from connection because I was afraid of being controlled. But this isn't control. This is choice. My choice. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He kissed her then, deep and long and full of promise. When they broke apart, both were crying. I love you, Owen said. I will spend the rest of my life making sure you never regret this choice. I love you too. And I won't regret it. Because you're not Marcus. You're not Sarah's enemy. You're the man who's been there for me through everything. The one who sees me when I'm a mess and loves me anyway. They spent the night wrapped in each other, talking about the future. About Meridian's Chicago office. About finding a place together. About second chances and new beginnings. Christmas morning dawned bright and clear. The storm had passed, leaving the world coated in pristine white. They made breakfast together, opened the gifts they'd secretly bought for each other. Owen gave her a framed photo of them from college, both grinning at the camera, young and hopeful. She gave him a leather journal with "Our Story" embossed on the cover. We'll fill it together, she said. The good parts and the bad parts. All of it. All of it, he agreed. They spent Christmas Day curled up together, watching snow fall, playing board games, cooking the meal they'd planned. And when Owen pulled her in for a slow dance to Christmas music, Natalie knew she'd made the right choice. Not the safe choice. Not the expected one. But the choice that felt like home. Later that night, as they packed to head back to Chicago, Natalie's phone buzzed one last time. A text from Sarah. I heard you turned down the San Francisco job. Good luck with Owen. I hope he's different with you than he was with me. I hope you both get what you deserve. Natalie showed Owen the message. He read it, expression unreadable. What do you think she means? Natalie asked. I think she's wishing us well in her own way. And maybe warning you. Both at the same time. Are you worried? He kissed her forehead. I'm terrified. But I'm also hopeful. Because we're choosing to be better. Both of us. Together. Together. They drove back to Chicago as the sun set, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. The city lights appeared on the horizon like a constellation of possibilities. Natalie reached over, took Owen's hand. He squeezed back. They didn't know what the future held. There would be hard days. Moments of doubt. Old wounds that still ached. But they would face it together, with honesty and grace and the kind of love that chose to stay even when leaving would be easier. 6 months later, Meridian Chicago opened its doors with Natalie at the helm. Owen surprised her at the ribbon cutting, carrying a bouquet of peonies and a smile that still made her heart skip. That night, he got down on one knee in her new office, surrounded by blueprints and fabric samples and the beautiful chaos of her dreams coming true. I promise to never use your secrets against you, he said. To let you go if you need to go. To celebrate your success without jealousy. To love you even when we're both a mess. Will you marry me? She said yes without hesitation. Because some loves are worth the risk. Some people are worth choosing, again and again, no matter how complicated or imperfect or beautifully flawed they are. And as they kissed in the golden light of her new beginning, Natalie knew that 10 years of friendship, one Christmas confession, and a lifetime of choosing each other was the best story she could have ever written. The end.